Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 4 of Miss Marvel. The last episode I absolutely adored. I loved the whole Bollywood wedding dances. I thought it was amazing. A lot of action in that, and then a lot of action in like fighting, which I wasn't super comfortable with, only because those people know that Kamala is a teenage girl. And I know she has the bangle, so she has a form of protection, but she's not a fighter. And I know some people are like, well, what about Peter Parker? We know he can't be hurt. We know she can be. Those are the two distinctions between those two things. It's not really that it's a boy and a girl. It's the fact that like she can be hurt. She's not invincible. She's definitely still a child, wearing a powerful bracelet. Peter Parker is a different animal completely. So just that distinction, I wanted to point that out. But the friends that she has come across that were with her grandmother back in the 40s, they found the bangle, and it was on a blue arm, which could be Kree. It could also be what they can consider the Jinn or like a genie. I'm leaning more towards Kree, only because it was in the temple where they had the 10 rings on the floor, and um, I'm 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 leaning more towards that mythology. Kamala is told that they're part of this Nor dimension or a dimension of light. But they're also called clandestines, which I found out later is kind of an offshoot of a Marvel comic book, kind of very deep cutty. But then also they're also called the Jinn, which Kamala has definitely, we've established that she kind of has a fear of the Jinn, which are kind of like these evil spirits that are very real to her culture, to the Pakistani culture. But we find out that these people, they need the bangle to return home to their dimension. And we did see her grandmother Aisha put it on, but it didn't power up fully. It powered up for a moment, and her eyes did turn purple. And I learned from New Rock Stars that it might be because she is actually from the Nor dimension. So in our dimension, it doesn't work as strongly, or she needs both. Because for Kamala, it's kind of high powered. So I can't imagine what two on Kamala would actually be. But Kamala is from our dimension, so it works stronger for her. But they need her to send them home. And at first, they seem really nice. They seem like a cool group. Hey, here we are. No, like they beat her up. The only one that's even a little bit redeemable is Kamran, because I think he genuinely cares about Kamala and what happens to her. And while he might love his mother and his family, I think that he also wants to do the right thing by Kamala. And especially with Bruno doing a little bit of research into the I guess interdimensional science math. I'm not smart. I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. But he has to like go to like Eric Selvig's like research paper. And if you're if you're reading an Eric Selvig research paper, you are much smarter than me. Like he got into Caltech, which he tells Kamala, which I was very proud of him. And he said he thinks he should go. Go, Bruno. Go, become the best you. So excited. But he does warn her that it could be dangerous to actually help them and to like open up this other dimension, which does not sound like a great idea. And there's the part where Najma actually grabs the cuff when Kamala and her are fighting, tussling, and they both see the train. And then later Kamala's grandmother calls her and is like, "Did you see the train? I saw the train." So there's a little bit of a power up that still happens, I think, when one of the clandestines touches the bangle. And then a part that like I'm hoping gets remedied in this episode, because I really don't like the idea of best friends being on the outs with each other because of like not telling somebody that they're a superhero or about something that's really big and really scary. I know Kamala had the opportunity to tell Nakia like when she was in her bedroom that like, hey, the damage control's after me. I'm the one, and I need to show you something, and show her. I feel like Nakia would have been very open and very, although a little freaked out at first, I think she would have accepted it because Kamala's her friend. And it really bothers me that she found out by happenstance, kind of just seeing it happen. Now, which is also how Bruno actually found out. So when, you think like Bruno's her best friend and like she told her best friend, she didn't tell Bruno. Bruno happened to be there and knew it was her. But I do think because damage control was so disrespectful when they came into the mosque that Nakia is gonna like kind of really still want to help Kamala. Um, and not just because it's her friend, but because it's now protecting somebody of her community that's a part of her mosque that can really help protect more of her people, which I think is ultimately they've really touched on a little bit of the political aspect of mosques and temples being watched by the FBI and that they're like already on a watch list and they already have to be careful around these kind of authority groups and I think for her people and her mosque are very important that she's going to try to keep that as protected as possible. I loved that we had a part with Kamala and her mother in the bathroom, and they had that really big emotional moment of, just her telling her how hard it's been when they came to America, even though it was her dream to come there and it wasn't what she expected. And then Kamala kind of going through the same thing of like wanting to be like this larger than life kind of superhero, but then it not being what she expected it to be. That it's a lot of responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility, but like she also hears it's not about being good, it's about doing good. And I really love that the Imam said that because it was a beautiful line. And I think that it was an inspirational moment. I think that's like going to be like one of those things that we remember from this show. Now, take that into account that she had this moment with her mom, and then later on, when her mom wants to know what's going on because, like, she knows that she was involved with these people that got arrested, and Kamala doesn't tell her. She doesn't share anything about it. And my heart breaks in that moment because I don't know what Muniba would do if she heard these words coming out of her daughter's mouth. Like you can't ground your kid, right? They're they're the only thing you can do is like try to support and talk about it. And Kamala still doesn't feel safe and comfortable opening up to her mother. I think maybe she would be safe opening up to her brother and then her father and then her mother. And it's just really sad that in that moment she can't. But then when she gets the phone call from Grams, who's like, "Come to Karachi. I saw the train. You both need to be here." And Kamala's like, "How am I going to be able to convince my mom of this?" Well, I think that's what we're going to get in this episode. But I really I want them to go to Karachi because not only am I interested in the history of the Bengal and the power and what that means for not only Kamala but the whole MCU. But like I'm actually more interested in the mother-daughter relationship, not only between Muniba and Kamala, but Muniba and her mother. Because like if you've watched Turning Red, you know that mother-daughter relationship that they have, and then when her mother comes in, how terrified she is of her mother. I really wish I could remember their names right now. It'd be really great to tell you in great detail. But just how a mother influences a daughter. It's very generational. A lot of the trauma, the curses, the beauty, the power, the strength that we all have. It's very generational, and I love seeing that in this show. So with that being said, I can't wait to get into this. Let's go to Karachi. We better be going to Karachi. I want to go to Karachi. Take me to Karachi. I just said Karachi a lot. That's funny that I mentioned the show Turning Red and this episode's called Seeing Red.
Because I saw it too. You both need to come to Karachi.
Let's go to Karachi. I love the music that they're starting these episodes out with. It's so beautiful. Like I could jam to this like all day long. How would she have gotten her mother on a plane?
First time to Pakistan.
What makes you say that?
You're gripping that stuffed animal pretty tight.
Oh, she speaks. I thought my daughter had lost her voice, except for asking for more Canada Dry.
I wasn't allowed to speak. Unless laws of grounding are no longer applicable in international waters.
This poor guy in the middle.
I think that we need to call a temporary truce.
That's probably a smart idea. Oof.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Very excited to be in Pakistan.
Kamala!
Nani!
Aww.
My granddaughter.
You should be sleeping.
Oh, I'm just coming from a party. They're very old, but you can have them.
Oh no, it's a
She already got a very old piece of jewelry from her grandmother.
Mummy, it's good to see you.
Welcome home, beta.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Your skin is so dry.
Oh God.
See you
okay.
tomorrow then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Stop it.
Well, we got a little bit of the mother-daughter dynamic between Nani and Muniba. A little different than New Jersey, I'm sure. Oh God, get your head back in. So the question is, can you get the cuff through airport security without any questions?
Was the house always this big?
Yes, but it could use a paint job.
Kind of looks like an oasis a little bit. Like you could vacation there. Cool. Art studio. I like Nani. At least I think it's Nani's. Oh, it looks magical in there.
I had no idea you could draw.
We lost so much during partition. And I thought the only way I can hold on to what we had lost was to create it myself.
That little painting with the purple background kind of looks Nord-dimension-y, huh?
This is my Ammi, Aisha, your great-grandmother. What I could remember of her, at least.
Am I?
A jinn? Of course. At least that is what my father told me.
Okay, right out in the open.
It's just genetics.
No.
The important thing is that when the bangle was used the last time, it saved my life.
Like the trail of stars.
It was the middle of partition. I somehow got separated from my father until a trail of stars appeared and took me right back into his arms.
Nani, is it the same train? The one that we're seeing in the visions, is it that train from that night?
The bangle is trying to tell you something, beta. You needed to be here with me to figure it out.
I feel like I'm trying to piece together 100 different things, and I'm breaking more than I can fix.
That's quite a puzzle.
It's very helpful, Grammy. See, that's my girl. I wear Chucks all the time.
Nobody told me about the no jeans policy. This outfit plays a lot better in Jersey.
Fine, you just stay with your cousins if we wouldn't want you getting into any trouble.
I would never.
कुर्ती ले लो कुर्ती 500 रुपए
1500?
Not exotic enough for the ABCD's Instagram? American born, confused,
I
desi.
know what it means.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it might be cool if we checked out the train station. You know, it's like the first ever gateway where Nani entered the country. Well, we're going. Meet us after. Stay safe, I guess.
They're just gonna leave her?
It's yours if you tell me the direction to the train station.
You go left,
This way?
yeah, left, one more left, and then right, little bit right, okay?
Oh, it's not clear cut. Oh yeah? I love that. The hell?
Found you.
And who is this?
I sensed the Noor.
Didn't expect this.
Do all masked Americans have superpowers?
Well, how do you know I'm not Canadian?
You're wearing a shirt that says New Jersey. What is this look?
No one likes the outfit, huh?
I like it. It's my style.
Come on.
That's a skill you have to acquire. You can't just throw a knife.
You're not a clandestine,
You know about them?
but you have the bangle. How did you get it from Aisha?
Wait, how do you know about Aisha?
Come with me if you want to live.
What?
Just kidding. I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah, that was a little much.
Sometimes you have to look beyond what's right in front of you.
What does that mean?
Welcome to the Red Daggers.
Red daggers.
Red daggers. What, even a Pakistani boy band?
Not quite.
Not the clubhouse I expected. I was expecting dirty, dingy, dark. This looks fun. American culture is so boring.
Very strong hideout game.
Well, usually tourists are not allowed.
But for a descendant of Aisha's, I'm sure we can make an
Well,
exception.
hi, who are you?
Your great-grandmother's story is of legend. When you're ready, we have much to discuss. The clandestines and Aisha are from another realm. This map shows you how our two worlds coexist.
Wow.
There are many dimensions around us that we cannot see. This is just one of them.
Wow.
What is this?
Aisha's home,
Yeah, it looks like the power.
behind the veil of Noor that separates our world from theirs.
Noor is the energy source of that realm. The veil, the clandestines, even your powers are made of it.
If the clandestines use the bangle to tear down the veil, they'll unleash their world onto ours until there's nothing left of it.
Do you know what it says?
It says what you seek is seeking you.
Oh.
Is that like an important message?
Oh, they're in Supermax. Does Kamran really need to be here? He's 17.
I thought.
Bastard!
Come on! Let's go.
Okay. So they weren't in Supermax for very long, and
He's not coming with us.
What?
He made his choice. Now he has to live with it. Let's go get the bangle.
Sorry. Let me.
wow, okay. That was a very quick and chaotic scene.
So, you found what you came looking for?
Pieces.
Even at my age, I'm still trying to figure out who I am. My passport is Pakistani. My roots are in India. How does one to deal with that?
Do you think you're ever gonna figure it out?
But what's the rush?
Oh. I love how they show the text messages in this show.
So I guess it's just you and me here tonight.
I mean, why is all this such a mess? And why are there so many toffee boxes everywhere?
Let her live her life.
These toffee boxes, well, they're for you. You know, you liked them as a child. So I just kept them around just in case you came back. Hey, kya ho gaya?
Get this.
I like how the bed's just hanging.
Hey, give me your leg.
Ye massage hai. Or some plan to take out your frustrations on me.
Maybe it is time for you to start considering coming to live with us in America.
And there I thought you went halfway across the world to get away from me.
I was continuously being shunned by the neighbors because of my crazy mother and her wild theories. You continued to cling to these fantastic theories.
That's why she hates it.
I didn't need your stories, Mummy. I needed my mother.
We believe your genetics could be the answer to why it is that you can shape the Noor here. Your humanity links you to the matter of this world. It makes your abilities unique. Though we may not have fancy armor, there is history in every thread of this fabric. So you always remember where you came from. You're not alone.
Am I a red dagger now?
It suits you.
Surprise.
Oh, how did they know that she was here?
What are you doing?
love that we're playing with the mist in this. It's like a nice little disappearing act.
Go, go, go! Come on, get in quick!
Oh, is that going to be fast enough? Aww.
Don't let them get away.
Okay, the smaller, like slower vehicle is actually not that bad. The big one doesn't seem to fit anywhere.
Got you now.
Oh no! Use your bangle, use your bangle! She seems like she's getting really good control over her power, too.
Hold on tight!
Oh. Like maybe he could get down on one tire? Or two tires, rather?
Get yourself to safety! I'll lead them off! Come on!
A foot chase through Karachi, as busy as it is, it seems intense.
Hey,
Why do you always have to go in reverse first, girl? Easy on the pedal. If you're gonna learn how to drive somewhere, I guess it might as well be Karachi, because it's intense on these streets. Oh. But I mean, can we point out that that dude could take a hit? Solid crush on this guy. Solid crush on that guy. And now he's gone.
Mala, it's too late. He's gone. We have to go.
Poor Waleed. Nice. What is this staff that Adam has? Nice, Kareem. Oh no. She just traveled through time.
मुझे तुम्हारी बहुत याद आएगी।
मुझे भी।
ये आपके काम है कि मेरे बेटा रख रही है। ये बेटा जल्दी से गाड़ी में बैठ, गाड़ी चलने।
I wonder if the grandmother, if there was an attempted kidnapping, and that's why she didn't make it to the train until the bangle helped her. Okay, so we got to Karachi quickly. I thought it was going to take a little bit more talking. I'm going to guess that maybe Muniba probably wanted to see her mother a little bit. But we really got an insight into that relationship, which I was kind of excited about, mostly because you can see that there's still tension there about her mother telling stories and kind of, being the head in the clouds person that she was talking about in the first episode. And that it kind of embarrassed her and she just needed to get away from it and start over and have a new life. And that's really sad. That's really sad because her mother was sharing things with her, but at the same time didn't realize that it was affecting her negatively. And that her mother, that Nani, knows everything. She knows about the bangle, she knows about the power, she knows about the jinn. That she knows that Kamala needs to find the train. which we see at the end. She found the damn train, that's for sure. Um, but it seems like it's back in 1942 during partition. And that was a chaotic, kind of an emotional scene when they pull out and it's all the trains and people clamoring to get on them. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Uh, to flee home or to flee where you've been calling a place home, or to flee to go home. It's heartbreaking, the scene of like having to let each other go and break up families and let go of sons and daughters, and hopefully they start a new life somewhere where they prosper. And it's really cool that Nani tells her that the bangle is kind of what saved her and took her back to her father. um, but also Nani, a little bit of history into her is that she says that she's from India, but her passport says Pakistan, so she essentially doesn't even know who she really is. She says there's no rush to find out, but you can tell that it kind of eats her up a little bit that she doesn't know where she's from, and that's heartbreaking. I don't even know if I can speak any more onto that other than just the emotion of it, because the politics of it, I don't know if I'm smart enough to actually say anything more than what I feel. It's heartbreaking. And we are introduced to Kareem and Waleed that are part of the Red Daggers. Cool clubhouse, bro. Cool clubhouse. Top notch. A lot of times when we go to places that are, I don't care if it's old Europe or if it's places like Karachi, the architecture, the color, the lighting, the windows, like everything is so beautiful, and it just makes like the little square boxes that we live in seem so less cultured. And there's such a beauty in the history of all of that, and it's gorgeous, from Nani's house to the places that they visit. They're just gorgeous. So jealous. But Waleed, we apparently lose him at the end of this. I I don't like when characters that I like or want to know more about die, because I always want to believe that they're going to come back somehow. I really liked him. He seemed like the guy with all the knowledge, where he brings up the maps and he talks about the difference between the Nor dimension and where they draw their power from, and how they're wanting to destroy the clandestines want to destroy the Nor dimension. That I'm a little. Are they from two different places? It looked like two different places with the power kind of being cut out. But I was really excited to get a little bit more of that side of it, because we're talking about dimensions, not necessarily like aliens, which I think is kind of when we think people come from other dimensions, they're coming from outer space. Um, they're like when he shows it layered on the map, I really like that because it shows that like it's just a different dimension on Earth. So I'm interested in learning way more about that. That was really cool. And we did get to see Kamala use her bangle more and like really show off a little bit of the power that she has, but she's getting really good at her skills. Last episode, I was upset that they were trying to beat up a teenage girl. This episode, I think she can hold her own. Like she's got some moves, um, and definitely like you could see her use more of her power. And it wasn't just like one punch or one little like block or whatever. It was multiple stuff going on at one time. She saves the family by building a ramp, and like she's able to control it a little bit more, and I love that. And I just imagine if she had both bangles, like how powerful would she be? So powerful. I love that he gave her, the fabric, the garment to wear that's like kind of part of her culture. I hope that's incorporated into her actual costume that she ends up wearing. Um, I don't know if it'll be in this show or if it's in the Marvels, but I'm really interested in kind of seeing the evolution of her super suit. And it was really cool to see her hanging out with teenagers in Karachi, like on the beach, just like normal teenage things. It was really weird that her cousins just were like, yeah, go ahead, find the train station. Like, see ya. Like, obviously they feel safe in Karachi, but somebody who's never been there probably would be pretty intimidated because it is busy and there is a lot going on. And like when the guys like turn left and then right and then left and like I would have gotten lost. Like I would never survive on the Amazing Race. I would never ever do well on the Amazing Race, let alone find a train station. I mean, I probably could follow signs that have trains on them, but I feel like a lot of these cities have multiple signs that like you don't really know what's going on. I would have been lost so quickly. I probably would have found my way into a restaurant and I would have ate my feelings, but it would have been delicious. Oh, the food in this looks so good. Oh, and we didn't really get anything with Nakia in this one, just like a couple missed text messages. Nothing really from Bruno, but there'll be time when she gets back home. If she gets back home, I don't even know. The next episode, she might still be in 1942, if that's what I was looking at. I don't know if she traveled through time, if she was just seeing the past, if she's in the past, how she gets back to the present. And then when we see the dagger go into the cuff from Najma, like every time she's like come in contact with the cuff, like something happens, whether it's seeing the train or Kamala being transported into this other time, space, time space continuum. Where's Bruno when you need him? Um, but really, like there's something about her that makes the cuff do weird things. So I'm really interested to see what she does with the bangle. I don't know. I keep calling it a cuff because it's cuffing instead of like a bangle's like a bracelet. Cuff is like a cuff. Anyway, who cares? I'm really enjoying this and I'm loving actually like I love all the stuff that like is gonna lead in the MCU and all the powers and the history of it, but I'm really loving the relationships that we're getting between mothers and daughters in this, and even granddaughters and grandmas. And maybe we'll get one between a great grandmother and a great granddaughter. That would be interesting. Because I still don't know what happened to Aisha after the, the the temple or the museum or wherever they got the bangle. I don't know what happened to her after that. But apparently she brought shame on her family, and I don't know what that means, and I really want to know more. So definitely looking forward to that. A little bit more history of that, and then let's kind of check in with Nakia because I'm really digging her as a character, and I'd like her and Kamala's friendship to stay strong. It doesn't look strong right now. Okay, guys, like, subscribe, come back for next week's reaction. I am definitely loving this series. It's a good one, and it's emotional, and I love that. Anything that makes me feel something is truly wonderful. Okay, guys, I'll see ya.